Hello everybody and welcome to Stevens Family Chiropractic's 2014 Goal Setting Workshop. I'm Dr. Joe Stevens and I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of reach out and give you guys some resources so that you can make this a great year. My goal today isn't to tell you what your goal should be or what your dream should be. That's something that has to come from inside of you. But our goal today is to give you the resources and the ability to take control over your life this year, to take control over every aspect of your life so that you can make 2014 the year that you want it to be. And one thing we know is that you can't reach goals that you don't set. Don't let every year go by dreaming of the things you want to do. This is the time where we make those dreams a reality. So the goals you don't set reveal the dreams that you don't do. We want more than that. You deserve to have the life that you want and to reach the dreams that you've been dreaming about. Today's where we start that process. Now, attached is a resource, and that's my gift to you. That's our 2014 Goals Journal. And we're going to walk through this and explain some things. And this is something I've compiled over several years after hearing countless seminars and working with different coaches. And I combined several different topics into one comprehensive goals journal. And that's for you to keep. So print that out and use it. But before we dive into this, I want to go over a few basics or some foundational ideas when it comes to goal setting, because I don't want you guys to fall into the same traps that we see people fall into over and over. I want you guys to set goals and dreams that reach beyond January and can last throughout the whole year. And I'll give you some tips that should help. So the first thing I wanted to touch on is why some people fail to achieve their goals. First one we already talked about. You can't achieve goals that you don't set. The next thing is people get overwhelmed by their goals. They see these big goals and dreams, and they get overwhelmed by that idea because they don't have the proper steps or they can't understand how they're going to get there. Another trap people fall into is their goals lack clarity, or that there's no accountability to the goals that they set, or they just simply don't know how. And the last part is something I've learned more recently, and that's that you have to have a clear sense of why behind your goal. If you don't have that, if you don't have the why attached to the how or the what you're doing, you're not going to reach it. So we want to dive deeper and figure out why we want the things that we want to. So there are essentially four things that we have to invest in our life. We have our time, our energy, our focus, and our money. Those are the resources that we have to pour into the different aspects of our life. We all have the same amount of time, energy, focus, and we have our money that we can spend. So when you're setting goals, that's what you have to invest. And we have to invest on all four of those levels or it's not going to work. And I kind of broke it down, and there's 7 different value areas of your life. There's vocational, which is your job. There's your family, your social life, your mental part of your life, physical, financial, and spiritual. And we want to set goals for all the different areas of our life, because if we don't have balance, it's not going to be the life that we want. So we need to be able to pour into all of those different areas. And you'll see within the goals journal, we broke it up for you. So you can set different goals and figure out where you want to go in the different areas of your life. The next slide we have here is called the Be, Do, Have. And this is a cycle that you can read about it in a lot of different books. They explain it different ways. But when it comes down to it, everything starts with our belief systems, or what our paradigm is, how we see the world. And that's the B portion. Our belief systems dictate our actions, or the do, that lead to the results that we want. And those results reinforce our belief systems. So it's one big cycle. I don't just want to start with the do or the actions, because this is where people fall short. They say, okay, I want to lose weight, and I'm going to do this. But they don't look deeper. They don't explore the belief system behind why they want to do what they do. So it falls short. It doesn't make it around the cycle. And we want to start with that core belief, why you want to do what you want. So when we're looking through the goals journal, which should look like this, we kind of have some of the things we're talking about, and we have some tips in there. And then we have some instructions, because we break this up. And we should be able to go through kind of page by page. I broke this up into the 7 different categories. and we get into the be, do, have part, but there's these blue boxes here that explain some things. And the area where I really want you to start is what we call the BHAG. We call this, it stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. And this is where I want you to dream big. This is where I want you to set the goal for the year. What do you want to achieve? And this is where you can dream big, because we're going to set up steps to get there, and we don't want to fall. We don't want to set goals that are too small. Even if you reach for the stars, even if you fall short, you're gonna get more accomplished this year. And I really want you to set a big goal for yourself. So in each of those categories, go through and set the goal that you want to achieve this year, whatever that goal may be. The next thing we have are the 4 boxes that come before that, and that's the NHAG. That's the next happily achievable goal. And with this one, these are where we're going to take steps to get there. So if your goal is to lose 50 pounds for the year from your physical standpoint, this is where you're going to break it up. So the first quarter of the year, my goal is to lose 10 pounds. And then by the half of the year, I want to lose 25. And set goals that you can achieve. Set goals that are readily achievable for your life. And then this is where we break things down and figure out how we're going to get there. I put in place some lines, you can always make more, where we can write down some action steps. I've only put 3 for each because I don't want to get overwhelmed. If you try to do 7 things, it's going to be hard to do. If you set 3 things to do for yourself, that's more doable. So we have a start doing list and a stop doing list. And this is where you really look and figure out what you need to do to accomplish your goals. What habits do you have in your life that are interfering with that? That's your stop doing list. Figure out things that you're going to stop. The things that you need to start doing will depend on your goal. And if it's losing weight, like our first example, it's going to be I need to start working out so often, or I need to start doing this. I need to stop eating this certain type of food. This is where you want to break down your action steps. Things that you can do and things that you can focus on in your daily life that are going to get you to where you want to go. That's how we want to break it down. And that way we can set our big goal, but we can have the steps we need to get there. And we can start seeing how we're going to accomplish this. And that's important too. That's part of the planning process. The next thing is finding your why. We talked about the why, how, and what. You always want to start with your why. We always seem to want to stop short, and we want to figure out how we want to do things or what we want to accomplish, but we need to know why we're going to accomplish it. And if you attach your goals to your why, then it becomes achievable. Then it's driven by something more. Do you want to get healthy for yourself? Do you want to get healthy for your kids? Is there something you want to be able to do? That's the type of things we need to think about. Because if we clearly know our why and have clarity around that, it's going to be much easier to accomplish the things we want to. The next thing we have here are tips on following through. And I have several tips kind of written out that are going to help you be the person you want to be. And part of it all starts with the right attitude and the right mindset. So if you set goals, be positive about it. Positivity goes a long way, and it's going to help you. If you're positive and excited about your goals, you're going to be more likely to achieve them. The other one is read books and surround yourself with people who support you in a positive way and build you up. We need that reinforcement. We're all social beings. We want to be around people who build us up and help us be better than we are. So make sure you surround yourself with an environment that's going to help you achieve what you want to achieve. Another one is act as if you've already achieved the goal that you're setting out. In your mind, act like you're already there. Because if mentally you're there, it's going to follow along. You're already going to have the behaviors like you've accomplished it. Next one is learn to say no. Like we talked about, there's 4 different things that we can invest. We have our time, energy, focus, and money. Sometimes we need to learn to say no. Those are not unlimited resources. They have limits. So we need to prioritize and know what to say yes to and what to say no to. If things are interfering with your energy or your ability to accomplish what you set out to, sometimes you have to say no. Write things down. Writing is huge. I keep a notebook next to my bed because I get a lot of ideas or things that are floating around in my head, and sometimes if you can get that on paper, it'll create clarity because you're not having to think about the million things you have to do or the idea that you had that you don't want to forget. Write it down, let it go, and come back to it later. Take responsibility for yourself. And that's part of what we're trying to do here, is take responsibility for every aspect of our life. And we're all surrounded by an environment, and it's tempting to blame the environment around us or different circumstances, but it's when we take responsibility for ourselves that we truly become free and truly begin to accomplish the things that we want to. Next thing is challenge yourself. And this is where I really want to push you, because when you set your big goal, set a goal that you don't think you could accomplish, because you're going to prove something to yourself. When you start getting comfortable, that's when the problems lie. You want to keep pushing yourself further and further, and you'll realize there's different sides to you that you didn't know existed, and you're really going to surprise yourself. The last one here is become comfortable with being uncomfortable. True growth occurs outside of your comfort zone. We all get comfortable way too often, and we want to sit in our own little bubble and just relax. But if you really want to grow and you really want to push things and reach the next level of you have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. So you have to step outside of your comfort zone, because that's where amazing things are going to happen for you. Also, build habits. It takes about 21 days to build a habit. So I encourage you, when you set goals, focus really hard on those first 21 days, and then the rest of your year is going to be easier. So we want to build good habits. The start doing and the stop doing list is all about building habits. It's about stopping your bad habits and building new ones. Now, instead of focusing so much on the things you need to stop doing, I would encourage you want to acknowledge what you need to stop doing, but focus on what you need to start doing. And that's how you're really going to move forward. And explore your purpose and your vision. What is your purpose in life? What vision do you have? What do you want to accomplish? Because those things are also going to drive the goals you set and how successful you are at accomplishing them. And another thing that's really helpful if you're setting certain goals is find an accountability partner. Now, it's important to reward yourself when you do achieve goals. If you set those smaller quarterly goals for yourself, have a reward in place if you reach that goal. And the purpose of an accountability partner is so you're held accountable, but you can also use it to compete and challenge yourself to be better. You can set a goal for each other, and whoever accomplishes their goal gets that prize. It helps give you some incentive, and sometimes that helps too. And invite others to join, because when you can get a group on board with a goal and a group on board with the why, that's where amazing things can happen, and you can really impact a community. The difference between success and failure when it comes to goals or anything in life is massive action. And we all dream and we all want certain things, but it's the people who go out and take action on that accomplish them. So this is the year I really want you to step up. I want you to push yourself to finally be who you want to be. Make it the year you want it to be. Don't wait for the year to come to you and all these different things to happen. This is the time where you take control and you take action and prepare to be fearless. So I challenge you. Are you ready to start to step up and be who you want to be? I read a quote and it kind of hit me. It says, don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. We all get comfortable living the same year over and over, and by the time you know it, time's just flown by and we're towards the end of our life. And that's not the way we want to live. Now, there's two different ways we can live our life. There's a life of probability, and then there's a life of possibility. Probability is the life where if you sit back, it's the life you're probably going to live. It's the things that are probably going to happen to you. And then there's one of possibility. And the possibility comes when you take control of your life. Now, if you are someone that isn't happy settling and you want more for yourself, this is where you want to start. This is where you want to start to create the life that you want and that you deserve. You see, we want to live a life on purpose. And this is the time where we make 2014 a life of possibility. And I want to thank you all for joining me. I hope you found this information valuable and can take this and apply it. And if you need any help or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out for me. We're here to help you. And this is the time where we make 2014 the year we want it to be, and together we can truly make a difference. So thank you.